on Facebook. You are propped on a million books, and we are live on Instagram. Whew, man, that was hard. I'm technologically challenged this afternoon, so hopefully you can hear me, hopefully you can see me, hopefully this phone stays still. All right, stay. Hello everyone on Insta. Woohoo! All right, tonight I'm going to show you how to make, seriously, stay. Okay, tonight I'm going to show you how to make my quick green curry, which if you have purchased the weekly menu planning service, it is tonight's dinner. So if you're cooking it for dinner at night tonight, follow along at home. If not, the rest of you get a taste of what's part of our weekly menu planning service, which is pretty cool. So sorry, I'm looking at two cameras. I've got Insta on this one. I've got Facebook on this one, so hopefully it's not too awkward. This one's driving me nuts. I'm going to have to move you somehow. All right, so I've got all my ingredients here. Now, this is not one of those Jamie's 15-minute meals that it says it's going to take 15 minutes and takes like an hour. Like, I promise you this is quick. Even for people, hey Gabby, even if you're like a basic beginner level chef, this is super simple and super easy. So I'm not lying when I say, like, even if you're not great in the kitchen, it's going to take you less than 30 minutes from start to scratch. So yes, I've got everything ready. I'll show you. But it literally took 2 seconds. So we've got some veggies. I've got my wok ready to rumble. I'll show you guys as well. Here we go. Lots of nice greens, rice, and some a few things to go with it. So let's get cracking. I might put, where can I put you, phone? What if I put you on a cup? Make you a bit higher. Or is that bad? Tomorrow we're going to cook lamb, and I will get my other tripod cranking for this phone. All right, stay there. Welcome to the Dietitian Approved Kitchen. If you've been here before, it'll look familiar. Thanks, Gabs. Gab says it looks good. All right, we're good. Okay. First things first, I've washed veggies, but I need to wash my hands. So I'm going to do that. Because I've just touched my phone, and we need to be super safe. All right, so first thing to do is put on the rice. Now, we eat brown rice in our household, so I'm going to put some brown rice on, and I'm going to cook a cup. But the good thing about these recipes is that you can scale the carbs, right? So if you need more carbohydrate than what the recipe has, so the recipe has got 50 grams of carbs per serve, and that's based on having 2/3 of a cup of cooked rice each. But you could obviously scale that down if you want to. Or you could also scale it up if you wanted to as well. So I'm just going to cook a cup, and there'll be a little bit left over. Whatever, I'll eat less than my husband. So with brown rice, whatever the ratio is that you're cooking, it's 1:2. So 1 cup of brown rice, you rinse it under the water first. So I'm just going to do that. And then we're going to add 2 cups of water to this pan. And once that's going, then we can do everything else. All right, so rice is rinsed. I'm going to put 2 cups of water in here. All right, so we've got 2 cups of water, 1 cup of brown rice. I'm going to turn this on the heat to boil, like bring it up to boil. And then once it's boiling, you just leave it down to simmer for the rest of the time that you're cooking the meal. So it's super quick, super easy. I like absorption method because you literally set it and forget it. It's just getting that ratio right in the first place. And then once that's done, you're sorted. All right, so let's prep the veggies and chop them up. It doesn't really matter how you cut them. I like more veggies the better, but we'll get the hard veggies on first because they take longer. And in the time that I'm doing that, I'm going to get the wok to heat as well. So, hey Liz, hey Pete, hey Indy, how you guys going? Hopefully you can hear me over there on Facebook. All right, so we're going to get the wok burning like already because it takes 2 seconds. So by the time that's heated, the veggies will be ready to go. All right, so a couple of teaspoons of oil go in there. And, you know, dietitian levels of teaspoon, not Jamie Oliver levels of teaspoons. No offense, Jamie. And then I cut my veggies up in however way. Depends on what is going in them, but maybe something like this, and then you could cut those in half as well. What we want them to do is cook like relatively quickly. We don't want really big chunky pieces that are going to take forever to soften down. We want that to happen really quick because it's quick green curry after all. So nobody can see me cutting this, can we? Here we go. I should not be a celebrity chef. Not designed for TV. All right, so that can go in. And then broccoli. So in the recipe, there's like a good couple of handfuls of greens. I always, even my own recipes, I still increase above that, just, you know, because that's my psyche. But you can throw in whatever you like, really. So I've got green veggies. We've got broccoli and some Asian greens and some zucchini. So again, I'm just trying to break these up so they're not too big. The bigger they are, the longer they're going to take to cook, and we don't want this taking forever to sort of cook down. All right, so I'm going to test my multitasking skills. So hello, Leslie. Leslie, you've just finished work and you're already on Facebook Live. Good one. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask away. I'm going to attempt to multitask while cooking or while talking to you. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so all that's in the wok. It took no time. Give it a bit of a stir. The other trick with veggies in woks is, like, if they're not cooking, you add a little bit of water, and that helps to like steam them while they're in there, and makes them cook faster. So if you ever go to those Asian noodle places, they've got a big thing of water behind them that they're constantly scooping into their wok just to steam the veggies up, and that helps them to cook a bit faster. So I'll grab some water to be able to do that. So you want a really nice hot wok to be able to do that. Put a little bit of water in, not heaps so that it's it just drenches them. Just a little bit to make steam, and that'll help steam your veggies for you. So a couple of little drizzles. Like, we don't want water sitting in the bottom of the wok, like that's just disgusting. Oh, and our wok smells like satay sauce, which we made over the weekend. All right, so while that's cooking, give it a little bit of a stir occasionally, but you don't really need to do too much. And then I'll just prep the Asian greens while we're doing that. These don't go in now though. Asian greens cook instantly, so we'll add those right at the end when we're ready to eat them. I've got a couple of different types here, and you can use whatever you like, really. I think like the more variety of things you have, the better, especially at the moment. We want to be cranking all our vitamins and minerals in at the moment. So I kind of slice these guys on the diagonal. Not too big pieces, otherwise they become kind of really, like, I don't know, meaty. And then I go pretty close to the end, but leaving like a little bit behind. So we're leaving a bit behind. You can eat that if you want. I usually chuck that in the compost. Alrighty, so that's like it, really. That's how quick it takes. Like, I didn't do any of that prep. Hello, May. I didn't do any of that prep work before. Like all I've done is wash, and then that's it. So our rice, I don't know if anybody can see it. No. So the rice is boiling now. I'm just going to turn that down to a simmer. And that'll just simmer away now for sort of, I don't know, ideally get it on a bit early, but maybe 30 minutes maximum. And then it'll be perfect because we put the right amount of rice in to start with and the right amount of water. All right, so those veggies are starting to soften. So just little trickles of water, remember, nothing too big. If you've just joined us, we're not trying to drown our veggies. So I'll show you what that's looking like. Insta, come with me for a second. So I've got our veggies there. They still need to soften a little bit. And then the rice, I've just turned it down, but that's kind of going off over there. All right, Facebook, you want to come with me too? Oh, hilarious. All right, so our veggies, they're kind of steaming, kind of softening, but we want them to be a little bit softer, tiny bit more. And then, yeah, rice has gone bonza. All right, how was that? So Kaylin's asked, how do you make the perfect rice? So you mustn't have been here at the very beginning, Kaylin. So the trick to perfect rice is getting that ratio right. So for brown rice, we're doing 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. So the ratio is 1:2 if we're aiming for perfect absorption method. So it just depends on what type of rice you're using, or if you're using quinoa, it's a different ratio as well versus white rice. So yeah, perfect rice absorption method, you just need to put the right amount of rice and water in. And the other trick with brown rice is that you rinse it first, and that helps as well. Alrighty, so now that the veggies are sort of softening up, you can cook them a little bit further till they're brown, but they'll keep cooking a little bit once we put the coconut milk in as well. So I would say that they're pretty much good to go. So now we're going to add some green curry paste. Now how much you add totally depends on your level of spice. I'm going to go easy tonight so I don't kill anyone, but somewhere between sort of 1 to 2 tablespoons of this is totally fine. Unless you want to blow your socks off, you can add more. So green curry is one of the spiciest, so we don't want to add too much. And the other trick with spice paste is that the longer you heat it for, the more sort of the chili evolves and it gets hotter as well. So before I add that, I'm going to get my coconut milk ready so it's not in there for too long. Now, if you're part of the weekly menu planning service, I'm going to give you some extra information about coconut milk, but I've got multiple varieties here and they're all a little bit different. So in the video that the weekly menu planning service guys get, I explain the difference and which one is best to choose depending on what you're using it for. So don't just buy the cheapest because you think that's better, or buy the one that says premium because you think that's better. There's a few different tricks of the trade around coconut milk, so we want to choose one based on what you're doing, and I guess also how many calories you want, because the difference in overall kilojoules per can is huge. Like some range from 250 kilojoules all the way up to over 1,000 to 2,000 per can. So again, that's another factor. All right, so these veggies are definitely good. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of the green curry paste. Give it a quick stir just to help all the herbs and spices become aromatic, and then dump the coconut milk in pretty quickly. Woo! So that's what I mean about aromatic. It takes a little bit of heat to get those spices to evolve. Yeah. Green curry for the win. Now, that's just going to sit there on the wok. You guys on Insta can see it. Facebook, come with me. This is what it looks like. kind of like this, and those veggies are softened already, which is good, like enough potentially that you could eat them if you like them firm. Or they're just going to continue to cook down a little bit now as well. All right, definitely going to rock 2 tripods tomorrow. This is carnage. Fun carnage. Hello, Brian. All right, now the next secret to some flavour is we're going to add a little bit of desiccated coconut. Delicious. So about a tablespoon. I'll use the tablespoon, we'll be legit here. That can go in there. And that just gives it a nice coconutty flavour. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of fish sauce as well, which is in a lot of Thai style cooking. All right, this is my favourite brand of fish sauce. I don't know what happened to the label. Looks like a dog's chewed it. You can get it in lots of places, but Asian supermarkets generally have this one here in Australia. Gabby says she'll be over for dinner, I assume that says. Well, you're welcome, Gabs. I don't know if there's going to be much left. All right, so with that now, that's pretty much ready to go. So all you have to do is sit and wait for it. So you could do your tidy up now. And I'm just going to turn that down. It's going to start bubbling, and then once it starts bubbling and simmering, I'm going to turn it down, and it can kind of just let those flavours infuse a little bit. The rice is going strong over there as well. And so the trick with Asian greens and stir fries is that you add them pretty much as you're ready to eat them. These guys are going to wilt as soon as you put them towards any heat, so you never want to cook with them and leave them in there, unless you like really wilted Asian greens. I don't know, some people might. And then the other thing with prawns, I've got my prawns here ready to go as well, is that you put those in last, like super last. So they're going to take less than 60 seconds to cook. So we want to make sure that they are going in. Hey, Therese, want to make sure, oh, that green curry is killing me. Want to make sure we put those in when we're kind of ready to eat as well. So the curry can kind of just sit and simmer down a little bit until the rice is ready. And then as soon as the rice is ready, you take it off the heat and leave it sit for a second. And then once that has all kind of happened, then you can put the prawns in. They'll take less than 60 seconds. And then I'd even kind of dish up before you put the Asian green in. Hey girl, hey Therese. Gabby asked, does it make a taste difference while adding fish sauce, or can you just leave it out? You can totally leave it out. It's basically just adding another depth of flavour and a bit of extra salt too. So you could leave it out if you're a vegan. That one is gluten-free. But yeah, you could totally leave it out if you want to. It just adds an extra sort of complexity to the flavour, Gabs. But yeah, you could leave it out. All right, does anyone have any other questions while my hands are relatively free? I can read your mind, Gabs. So yeah, this is tonight's meal for the weekly menu planning service, guys. So we've got a few people that have purchased that already. So this is what you're having for dinner. This is how you make it. So this will be on the lives for the next 24 hours. So if you get stuck when you're making dinner tonight, just watch this back. I need to turn the vent on, but I can't because you won't be able to hear me. All right, so just turn that down a bit. It's going a bit too nuts. It just needs to sort of simmer gently because the curry's basically ready now. We're just kind of waiting on the rice, which isn't too far off. So if anybody's got any questions, now is the time. Ask away. Ask away while I can. There is so many people on here. Hello. Hello. Turns out everyone wants to know how to make green curry. Oops. All right. No questions? Everyone's under control? Hey, Beck. Beck, this is what you're having for dinner tonight. Although, Beck, you don't like prawns, so what are you putting in here instead? Chicken? Are you having chicken, Beck? Alrighty. So, if the rice was ready, I'd be ready to dish this up, but it's not just yet. Damn you, rice. It's trying to do everything at once. Oh, Beck, you got prawns. Well done. I'm so proud of you. So Beck, I've known Beck for forever, but she definitely is not a fish person. And the weekly menu plan has seafood or fish at least one night a week. I think it's really important that you include seafood, especially the oily deep sea fish, making sure we've got those at least one night a week. Ideally more, but you know, I'm easing people in. So Beck, for you to eat prawns, I'm super impressed. So if you need tips on how to cook this a bit later, Beck, just watch the repeat while you're cooking. Watch the carnage. You'll be able to get it done way faster. Alrighty, so we're cooking down and it's kind of coming a bit more thicker now, which is good. Again, you could serve, like it's ready to serve if you wanted to serve it now. But that's literally how quick it is. Like, I don't know, what's the time? It probably took, with me chatting and doing multitasking, probably took, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I guess the hold up at the moment is cooking brown rice from scratch. So you could get those microwave sachets or microwave pots and cook those as well. And they're done in 90 seconds. So the rice wouldn't be the hold up at all. Now this is a serve two. As part of the weekly menu planning, everything serves two, so that if you're one, you get some delicious leftovers for lunch the next day. Or if you're a family of four, you literally just double everything and that'll feed 4 mouths. So I wanted to try and make it really flexible so that no matter how many you were in your team, your family unit, that it would work for you, whether you're 1, you're 2, or you're 4. And man, if you're 6, then you could increase again. So it's just either dividing or doubling up the weekly menu plan so that it suits you. I think the people that are one household, like one person household, gets the best benefit because you've got your dinner and your lunch planned for you, and you're making it so you've always got leftovers the next day. So that's even better. So then all you have to do if you want to use it is plan your breakfast. So everything is done for you. And the other thing I guess that I do, like we have a variety of meats and things. There's always seafood at least one night, but there's always leftovers at least one night as well. Because I don't feel like we should be like slaving away in the kitchen for hours trying to make something healthy and delicious every single night. Like a lot of people don't have time for that. So if you're finding that trying to eat well and eat healthy is just a chore, then try and get yourself organised so that you're playing like catch up by having leftovers the next night. So you're not cooking and slaving away in the kitchen for hours every night as well. And just get like that just makes life so much easier. So don't feel like you've got to cook 7 new things every night. Hello. Hello. Facebook keeps disconnecting. Wonder if that's spam. You are great. Thank you. All right, so we're still waiting on the rice, but dinner's ready. So what I'm going to do, so that we don't have to wait for the rice, is I'm going to throw the prawns in, and I'll show you how quickly those cook. So somebody watch the time. It's my, 5:37. So prawns go in. So just dig them down a little bit so they're covered with the heat. And prawns are ready. If you want to chop one up, if you're really not confident, you can chop one up. But let's see if we can show you both. Let's do this. Let's multitask with 2 phones. Yeah. Okay. Has everyone got that? All right, so you can see how they're starting to become, from translucent, they're starting to become more white. And the other thing they do when they're ready is they curl up. So they're quite straight or long when they're raw, and then they go whiter. You see some turning more white, and then they curl up when they're ready. So because this is quite hot, I would suggest you pull them out a bit earlier than you think, because they're just going to keep cooking. And there's nothing worse than tough prawns. So go earlier than you think. They're going to keep cooking in your plate. And we've still got the Asian greens to add as well. And then you'll have perfect, tender prawns. So I got my prawns from the local fish show. You can go frozen prawns. I try and look for Australian frozen prawns. I find that a lot of the overseas ones are from fish farms where they pump them with things. So here's an example of a prawn that's cooked. All right, Beck, take note. See how it's curled up and it's no longer see-through? Facebook? Yeah. Curled up, no longer see-through. You can chop it in half if you want, but it's going to keep cooking in this heat here. So that would be a perfect prawn. So curry's ready. All that's left to do now is dish up, and then I would put your Asian greens on top of it and then stir it through a little bit, and they'll cook through with the heat that's in your bowl. And the rice is almost done. So to make sure that your rice is perfect, all you need to do is keep simmering it down with the lid on until all the water's disappeared. So just check that you catch that point. You're not getting to the point where it's burning on the bottom. Then your whole rice is going to taste like burning. Hello, F Baza, try. So you kind of tip it on the side, check that there's no water there, and then leave it sit for a second, and that will make the perfect rice. All right, guys, if there's no other questions or comments or just general banter, I'm gonna sign out, because the only thing that's left is the rice now. Curry's ready. And it's 5:40. Got on here at 1:15 because I was late because I need to sort this phone out. So dinner while me distracted talking to you guys in 20 minutes. And you could do it way faster. You could do it way faster if you use a microwave rice pouch as well. White rice would cook faster, but not a big fan of white rice that much. I like to get some extra fibre in with brown rice. Or you could just get your rice on a little bit earlier so that the timing of those works a bit better. But, excuse me, I wanted to talk to you about how you could cook rice, making sure you rinse it. And so the rice is a little bit behind the curry, but that's cool. All right, guys, so tomorrow night we are going to cook grilled lamb with veggies and couscous, which is even faster. So I'm going to have my tripod set up a bit better. Hopefully it works. No, you can't be in my video, mate. Definitely not. No video bombing me, whoever you are. All right, T-Dog, you can come over for dinner too. Bring everyone. No, nobody can come over for dinner because we're in isolation. God damn it. That's why I'm doing this live, so that we can all talk to each other, because I'm starting to lose my shit already. Okay, so tomorrow night we're going to do grilled lamb with veggies and couscous. So feel free to grab those ingredients as well if you want to cook along with me, or just watch me fumble around in the kitchen on Facebook and Instagram just for fun. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. See you. See you, T-Dog.